Welcome to Glitter All the Things, episode 5. No more boring clipboards. So today we're starting out with just this clipboard from the dollar store. We've got some white vinyl. The white vinyl, I find that if you cut the two-sided tape on the white vinyl, it's a lot easier to work with, and it's a lot easier to transfer onto your clipboard. So I'm just measuring it up here to see what side of the vinyl I'm going to need to use. I think the clipboard's probably about 12 inches, so I will need to use the larger size mat. But we'll just cut the right size piece of vinyl here. So it looks like it's 9.5 by about 12. And we're going to use our fluorescent matte glitters here. We'll choose the colors as we get a little bit more into the project, but these are all the colors that are in the collection, and I will release a special bundle offer for these as well. Ooh, I've got fresh, clean mats. I always stick my new clean mats together. I find it's the easiest way to keep them clean. So I'm going to put my white vinyl on here first. Doesn't matter if it's removable, permanent. I think this piece is actually marine grade. While you are learning, removable is certainly a lot easier to play with, but I'm just using what I have on hand. Get that all smooth, make sure that there's no bubbles. Okay, so I am using the glitter stickies from Burntwood Solutions. Up until this point, I've only been using ones from Amazon, so I hear that the adhesive is a lot better on these, and I'm really excited to try it. Plus, because it's a larger size sheet, I can do a larger project. So I'm just going to place that down following the instructions onto my mat. In Cricut, I have already resized my design in order to flip the clipboard. I purchased the design, I think, from Etsy a long time ago. It's been a while since I have thought about doing a project with it, but I was feeling inspired and I wanted something bright and funky, and I thought that clipboard was really just kind of boring and plain. So we're just cutting our design here. And now we have our design and our vinyl all on one piece of paper. And I'm just cutting it down to size so that it's going to fit onto the clipboard. Move these guys out of the way for now. All right, again, just tripping off the excess from the bottom now. In hindsight, I should have cut this design a little bit larger. You'll see that I struggle with some of the areas not getting all the way to the bottom of the clipboard later, and I have to cut it with an X-Acto knife. I could have prevented that by just making the design a little bit larger. All right, so I'm trying to figure out the best way here to put it on the clipboard. Now, because the clipboard does have the metal piece at the top, I will just cut around it. And let's stick it down. Try to get as few bubbles underneath the vinyl as possible, because they will be bubbly through your sticky sheet as well. I also recommend using a sharp X-Acto blade knife. I swear this is the dullest X-Acto blade knife in the history of X-Acto blade knives. And I definitely do need to invest in a new blade. I think too, if I wasn't so rusty with my Cricut, that I could have probably measured out the size of the metal clip and just cut it directly out of my design. But that would require me to lay it on perfectly straight and to get everything perfectly measured, which if you were around for the dog crate in the back room measuring incident, you'll know that my measurements are not necessarily measurements to be relied on. All right, just gently cutting it. Struggling with that dull knife. It's never good when you have to saw something with your X-Acto knife. All right, we've got that all pushed down, going through, getting out all those bubbles. If your design started to lift too, no worries, just pat it all down the best that you can. I mean, ultimately it's coming off anyway, but we do want to be able to have those areas separated. And then we're just going to go along the sides and trim off all of the excess there. And flip it over, and then you can see where all your excess is overhanging as well. Excuse me. And we'll just clean up this last side, and then we will start our layout. So I definitely find that when you're doing something like this, you need to work with your darkest colors first into your lightest color, and this is where you're going to want to give it a little bit of thought too. So in a moment you'll see that I get a marker out and I'm just selecting which spots are going to be which color. And here you can see the design that we're going to be using. So it's very funky, very retro, and a lot of fun. So just laying out what colors are going to go where, and then we're going to start to make it colorful. If any of you happen to catch the live that this was originally recorded from, I ended up spontaneously crafting and didn't realize that I had no sound the whole time. So I was telling you guys stories, I was chatting, going through all of this, and realized the next day when I watched the playback that there was no sound and nobody had any idea what I was doing. And because I'm rusty crafter, I ended up taking over 2 hours to record and complete this project with all of my technical difficulties and things like that. So I decided to take screen videos of everything from that live. Again, probably an easier way to do it, but glitter is my friend, technology is not. So I just did it my way and I pieced it all together, which is why you're now getting this lovely voiceover. All right, do I have it all figured out? Oh, a couple little final touches here. All right, final decisions. And then we're going to start to pluck out our pieces for our darkest one. So for this little weeding tool, all I did was take a mechanical pencil and put a pin inside of it where the lead would be. And we're starting off here with Mimi. Mimi is a beautiful blue. I really like all of these fluorescent colors. They're a lot of fun. So we've poured the glitter on, and now we're just gently pushing it in with our fingers, spreading it all over and pushing it down lightly as we go. And then that sticky adhesive is going to hold all of that into place. Take a blush brush, gently just sweep off any excess, and move on to your next spot. So remember, darkest to lightest, and do all of one color at a time. If you can tap it off too before you do the blush brush, that'll get off the majority of the glitter and make it easier for you. And then you'll have less chance of moving up sections of your design that you didn't want to move at that time. I will tell you too, once you get into the habit of doing these burst templates, they are kind of addictive, and you just want to do a whole bunch of them. So glitter all the things. And if you're applying them to tumblers too, when you cut them on the vinyl already, you can use the vinyl setting, but you can do the whole glitter process while it's laying down flat. And then some people will spray it with a clear sealer, or just move it right onto their tumbler. If you don't have removable vinyl, then I would suggest you look up the wet method, where you put a little bit of water and perhaps some dish soap onto the tumbler and onto the vinyl prior to putting the vinyl on, and then you can move it around, because when you're learning to line up tumbler wraps, it is a lot of trial and error, and you've already put all of your hard work into glittering your burst design, so you want to make sure that you're able to use it. Let me know in the comments too what your favorite thing is to do while you're crafting. Do you focus 100% on what you're doing? Do you have the TV playing in the background? Is the radio on? Podcast? I often find myself listening to audiobooks. I've been an avid reader my whole life, but these days I really can't make time to just sit and read a book. So after a lot of practicing to find out how to listen to a book and not get overly distracted and be able to follow the storyline, I now crush a lot of audiobooks while I'm sitting in my office. The key for me, though, I found when I started to try to listen to them that they were so slow and I just couldn't keep up and keep attention with them. Turned out you could adjust the speed, so once the reader was reading a little bit quicker and there wasn't as much pausing in between, I was able to follow along with the books a lot more. So now I'm a really big fan of audiobooks. So let me know in the comments what you listen to, or do you just focus? All right, I think we're just about finished here with the blue. Give it all a good cleanup. Oh, I lied. I think we got one more section. All right, and here comes Catherine. Catherine is the purple in this fluorescent collection. Oh, look at that purple against the blue. Bright colors make me so happy. I cannot wait to see how this looks. It's so satisfying peeling off that backing layer. This is looking great. So, tell me, what should I glitter next? I have a pair of shoes here. I think I might do those next. All right, tough decision here. Do we use Patrick or Sherry? Patrick is the more vibrant glitter, and I think we gotta go as bright as possible with this one, so we will put Sherry back and we will use Patrick. So pretty. Definitely the right choice in pink for this project. All right, I think we're just about done here with the pink. On to the orange. This is Chad. This color was actually named after my little youngest brother, who is a fanatic of safety orange. Actually, all the males in my family really like safety orange. So Chad is the fluorescent glitter. Ryan is the orange glow-in-the-dark glitter. And then my dad, Harold, is the orange mica powder. They are ridiculous with their safety orange. Shane and I were meeting my youngest brother at Home Depot one day, and it was in the winter. He was out snow plowing, and he needed our help. And we're looking down the aisles for him, and all of a sudden I see this person in literal head-to-toe safety orange. Hat, overalls, hoodie, jacket, boots, like you could not miss this. He was like a human pylon in the middle of Home Depot, and I had to spend a good hour there, completely embarrassed with a pylon. So whenever I see a bright orange, I will forever think of him and my brother and my dad. That orange really pops against those colors. All right, we're done with the orange and time to bring Drew to the party. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and leave me any comments that you have. Let me know if you've used these matte fluorescent glitters, what you think of them. I definitely think that they're a lot of fun. And like I said, I will release them all in a collection as well. And perhaps I will do that to coincide with the launch of this video. Oh, this green is great. This is going to be my new inventory clipboard. No more boring inventory. All right, time to bring John in and finish rounding out these neon colors. This project is really coming together now. Look at how that yellow makes the green and all the other colors around it just pop. All right, so I know that there's a few little spots that I didn't assign a color to at the beginning, just because they were really tiny and I wasn't sure what was going to look best. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those in now. And then here we go. Time to remove all of that outline. This is so satisfying. And I'm going to use our new Marilyn White to White Glow Powder for the outline. I had originally tried the Mix Pamela, and it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And then I remembered that we had the new White to White Glow Powder, and I was like, this is the perfect project for it. And then because you're just kind of brushing the glow in the dark all over, it's going to go all over the neons as well. And the whole thing essentially should have some glow to it by the time we're done. And that is A-okay in my books. All right. Put a little bit more on here just to make sure that we got everywhere. So I'm going to be sealing this with Crystalac glitter glue. First I'll seal it with a spray version that's watered down, and then I will seal it because this isn't a tumbler and I don't need bright tone. I will use the extreme protection that I have just because I have it on hand and need a reason to use it, and it's great for signs or wood things. But you use it just the same as you would bright tone. You build your layers and sand every 4 layers. All right, so here we have a little bit more. I don't know if you just heard the dog sighing beside me, but that's what that loud sigh was. I'm interrupting his nap time. All right, this is it. Final product. Here we go. All right, now here it is just in regular light. Here it is under UV light. Look at those colors. And then just here it is in the dark. So definitely get your hands on these matte glitters because they are awesome. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.